Shri V. Motion Raju, respected President of Nalgova, Vijay Anand, respected Secretary General, Shri Bolakoti Ramakrishna, respected Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament, Shri Gullababu Rao Garu, respected MLC, Shri P. Ravindra Babu Garu, respected my beloved brother, Shri Denali Saravan Kumar Garu, respected ex-MLA, Shri Venamalta Rakada Elisa Garu, respected retired IAS officer, Shri P.S.N. Murthy Garu, respected my beloved brother, Liberation Congress Party leader, Shri Taladipati Vijay Kumar, IAS retired, and my beloved brother, Mr. Stephen, who invited me for this event, and our party frontline leaders, my beloved brother Neelavanathu Nilavan and Balasingham, the State President of Andhra Pradesh, Vidya Sagar, and all other frontline leaders of Andhra Pradesh, and all the dignitaries on the dais, and brothers and sisters. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks for giving this opportunity to deliver my speech here. This is not a political gathering, but all the political leaders, members of Legislative Assembly invited for this event. Here I want to talk in Tamil. My brother will translate my speech in Telugu. Then only I can speak or I can express my thoughts here fully. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம்.
అందరికీ వందనాలు.
இந்த நிகழ்வில் பங்கேற்று உரையாற்றுவதற்கான வாய்ப்பை வழங்கியதற்கு முதலில் என்னுடைய நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றியை உரித்தாக்குகிறேன்.
ఈ సమావేశంలో పాల్గొని నేను మాట్లాడడానికి అవకాశం ఇచ్చిన మీకు అందరికి కూడా నాకు వందనాలు తెలియజేసుకుంటూ ఉన్నాను.
இது அதிகாரிகள் ஒன்று சேர்ந்து உருவாக்கி இருக்கிற ஒரு அமைப்பு.
అధికారులందరూ ఒకటిగా కలిసి ఏర్పాటు చేసినటువంటి సంస్థ.
இந்த அமைப்பின் ஆண்டு விழா நிகழ்வு இது.
ఈ సంస్థ యొక్క యానివర్సరీ డే ఈరోజు.
இந்த நிகழ்வில் அரசியல் அடையாளங்கள் இல்லாமல் மாலா சமூகத்தின் மேம்பாடு குறித்து பேச வேண்டும் என்பதுதான் முக்கியமான பொருள்.
ఈ సమావేశంలో రాజకీయ ప్రస్తావన లేకుండా మాలల సామాజిక అభివృద్ధి గురించి మాట్లాడడం కావాల్సి ఉన్నది.
அன்பு சகோதரர் ஸ்டீபன் அவர்கள் சென்னையிலே என்னை சந்தித்த போது இந்த நிகழ்வில் நீங்கள் அவசியம் பங்கேற்க வேண்டும் என்று வேண்டுகோள் விடுத்தார்.
తమ్ముడు స్టీఫెన్ నన్ను కలిసి ఆహ్వానించినప్పుడు ఈ సమావేశానికి మీరు తప్పకుండా రావాలి అని అభ్యర్థన వ్యక్తం చేశారు.
அப்போது எனக்கு ஒரு தயக்கம் இருந்தது.
అప్పుడు నాకొక అనుమానం ఉండేది.
hesitation. I had a hesitation to participate in this event.
నాకొక సందిగ్ధత ఉండేది.
ஏனென்றால் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட ஒரு சமூகத்தின் அதிகாரிகள் கூடுகிற அவை என்கிற போது தலித் சமூகத்தில் உள்ள மற்றவர்கள் இதை எப்படி பார்ப்பார்கள் என்கிற ஒரு நெருடல், ஒரு சந்தேகம், ஒரு தயக்கம் எனக்கு இருந்தது.
ఎందుకంటే ఒక ప్రత్యేకించబడినటువంటి సమాజంలో ఒక వర్గాన్ని మాత్రమే గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు సమాజంలో ఉన్నటువంటి మిగిలిన వర్గాలు ఏమనుకుంటారో అనే ఒక సందిగ్ధత నాలో మొదలైంది.
அப்போது ஸ்டீபன் அவரிடத்திலே நான் கேட்டேன், ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட மாலா சமூகத்தின் நிகழ்ச்சியில் பங்கேற்பதால் மாதிகா சமூகத்தை சார்ந்தவர்கள் எதிராக பார்க்க மாட்டார்களா என்ற கேள்வியை நான் எழுப்பினேன்.
ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి మాలల గురించి మాత్రమే మనం మాట్లాడినప్పుడు మాదిగ కమ్యూనిటీ మనల్ని విరోధులుగా చూస్తారు కదా అనే ప్రశ్నను ఆయన దగ్గర చెప్పాను.
அப்படி இல்லை, மாதிகா சமூகத்தை நாம் ஒருபோதும் எதிராக பார்ப்பதில்லை, அவர்கள் நம்முடைய சகோதரர்கள் தான் என்ற விளக்கத்தை தந்தார்.
అలా ఏమీ లేదు, మనం దీని వలన మాదిగలు మనల్ని వ్యతిరేకించాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, మనం వాళ్ళని కూడా సహోదరులుగానే చూస్తున్నామనేటువంటి వివరణ ఆయన నాకు ఇచ్చారు.
அப்போது நான் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைந்தேன்.
అప్పుడు నాకు చాలా సంతోషమైంది.
எனவே நான் கட்டாயம் கலந்து கொள்கிறேன் என்று சொன்னேன்.
అప్పుడు స్టీఫెన్ గారికి నేను తప్పకుండా కలుసుకుంటాననే మాట ఇచ్చాను.
உடனே நான் வித்யாசாகரை தொடர்பு கொண்டு என்னுடைய தயக்கத்தை வெளிப்படுத்தினேன்.
వెంటనే రాష్ట్ర వీసీకి అధ్యక్షులు విద్యాసాగర్ గారికి ఫోన్ చేసి నాకున్నటువంటి సందిగ్ధతను ఆయనకి తెలియజేశాను.
அப்போது அவரும் சொன்னார், நீங்கள் கட்டாயம் வர வேண்டும், இந்த சங்கம் அப்படி ஒரு இடைவெளியை ஏற்படுத்துகிற சங்கம் இல்லை, மாதிகாவுக்கு எதிரான சங்கம் இல்லை என்பதை உறுதிப்படுத்தினார்.
అప్పుడు ఆయన చెప్పాడు, మీరు తప్పకుండా రావాలి, ఎందుకంటే ఆ యొక్క సంఘము అలాంటి విరోధ భావాల్ని రెచ్చగొట్టేటువంటి సంఘం కాదు, అది సమాజానికి చాలా అత్యవసరమైనటువంటి సంఘం కాబట్టి మీరు తప్పకుండా పాల్గొవాల్సి ఉందని.
தெலுங்கானா பிரசிடென்ட் ஜிலகரா சீனிவாஸ் அவர்களையும் நான் தொடர்பு கொண்டு இது பற்றி பேசினேன்.
వెంటనే తెలంగాణ వీసీకే ప్రెసిడెంట్ అయినటువంటి జిలకర శ్రీనివాస్ గారికి ఫోన్ చేసి ఆయన దగ్గర ఈ విషయం గురించి మాట్లాడాను.
அவரும் சொன்னார், நீங்கள் கட்டாயம் வந்து பங்கேற்க வேண்டும், உங்கள் உரை எங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் ஒரு உற்சாகத்தை தரக்கூடியதாக இருக்கும், அவசியம் வாருங்கள் என்று சொன்னார்.
ఆయన చెప్పారు, మీరు తప్పకుండా ఈ సమావేశానికి హాజరు కావాల్సి ఉంటుంది, మీ యొక్క ఆలోచనలు, మీ యొక్క ఉపన్యాసము మా తెలుగు ప్రజలకి చాలా ముఖ్యమని ఆయన చెప్పారు.
ஆகவே இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் பங்கேற்பதில் நான் மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன்.
అందువలన ఈ సమావేశంలో పాల్గొనడానికి నేను చాలా సంతోషిస్తున్నాను.
இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் பல்வேறு அரசியல் கட்சிகளை சார்ந்தவர்கள் அழைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறார்கள்.
ఈ సమావేశంలో వివిధ రకాలైనటువంటి రాజకీయ పార్టీలకు సంబంధించినటువంటి అధిపతులు ఇక్కడ పాల్గొని ఉన్నారు.
எதிர்கட்சி, ஆளுங்கட்சி என இரு தரப்பிலும் அழைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறார்கள்.
అపోజిషన్ పార్టీ, రూలింగ్ పార్టీ, ఇరు వర్గాల వాళ్ళు కూడా ఇక్కడ పిలువబడి ఉన్నారు.
அதிலே வந்திருக்கிற ஒரு ஆளுங்கட்சி உறுப்பினர் நம்முடைய அன்பு சகோதரர் சிரவன்குமார் அவர்கள் மட்டும்தான்.
అందులో రూలింగ్ పార్టీ అయినటువంటి పార్టీలో ఎమ్మెల్యేగా ఉంటున్నటువంటి మన సహోదరులు శ్రవణ్ కుమార్ మాత్రం.
அவருடைய துணிச்சலை நான் பாராட்டுகிறேன்.
ఆయన యొక్క ధైర్యాన్ని నేను మెచ్చుకుంటున్నాను.
பொதுவாக ஆளுங்கட்சியை சார்ந்தவர்கள் இதுபோல ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட சாதி சங்க நிகழ்ச்சிகளில் பங்கேற்க தயக்கம் காட்டுவார்கள்.
మామూలుగా చూస్తా అంటే రూలింగ్ పార్టీలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఎమ్మెల్యేలు ఇలాంటి ఒక వర్గానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి కుల సంఘాల కుల మీటింగ్లకు రావడానికి వాళ్ళు సాహసం చేయరు.
நம்முடைய எம்பி பாபுராவ் அவர்கள் OSRCP, நம்முடைய MLC ரவீந்திர பாபு காரு OSRCP, நம்முடைய சேர்பர்சன் ஆஃப் லெஜிஸ்லேட்டிவ் கவுன்சில் OSRCP ஆக எதிர்கட்சியை சார்ந்தவர்கள் இங்கே அதிகம் வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். ஆளுங்கட்சியை சார்ந்த ஒரே ஒருவர் மட்டும்தான் வந்திருக்கிறார்.
అపోజిషన్ కి సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది వచ్చున్నారు, రూలింగ్ పార్టీకి సంబంధించిన అతను ఒకే ఒక ఆయన మాత్రమే ఇక్కడికి వచ్చున్నారు.
கூட்டணி அரசில் இடம்பெற்றிருக்கிற JSP காரர்கள் கூட யாரும் இங்கே வர இயலவில்லை.
కూటమిలో ఉన్నటువంటి జనసేన పార్టీకి సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళకు ఎవరు ఇక్కడికి రానట్టున్నది.
ஆகவே இதிலிருந்து ஒன்றை நாம் புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும், நாம் சாதி அடிப்படையில் அவ்வளவு எளிதாக ஒருங்கிணைத்து விட முடியாது.
దీని నుంచి మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, మనం కులరీత్యా అంత సామాన్యంగా మనం కలుసుకోలేకపోతున్నాం, మీటింగ్లు ఏర్పాటు చేసుకోలేము.
இது ஒரு கடினமான பணிதான்.
ఇది చాలా కఠినమైనటువంటి పని.
ஆனாலும் இந்த சங்கம் மால்கோவா என்கிற பெயரில் உருவாகி இருக்கிற அதிகாரிகள் சங்கம் ஒரு நல்ல நோக்கத்திற்காக உருவாக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது என்பது பாராட்டுதலுக்குரியது.
అయినప్పటికీ ఈ సంఘం మాల్గోవా అని ఏర్పడడం వల్ల ఇది ఒక గొప్ప కార్యాచరణ కోసం ఏర్పడిన సంఘంగా నేను భావిస్తున్నాను.
இந்தியாவில் இப்படி பட்டியல் சமூகத்தை சார்ந்தவர்கள் ஆயிரக்கணக்கில் நாம் இருக்கிறோம்.
భారతదేశంలో ఈ విధంగా షెడ్యూల్ కాస్ట్ సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళు వేలాదిగా ఉన్నారు.
ஆந்திராவில் மாலாமாதிகா என்று இருப்பதை போல ஒவ்வொரு மாநிலத்திலும் வெவ்வேறு பல சாதிகள் உள்ளன.
ఆంధ్రాలో మాలా మాదిగా ఉన్నలాగనే ప్రతి రాష్ట్రంలో కూడా వేరే వేరే పేర్లతో ఉన్నారు.
தமிழ்நாட்டிலே 74 சாதிகள் உள்ளன.
తమిళనాడులో 74 జాతులు ఉన్నాయి.
அதிலே பெரும்பான்மையாக 3 சாதிகள் அதிக மக்கள் தொகை கொண்ட சாதிகள்.
అందులో మెజారిటీ 3 జాతులు మాత్రమే జనాభా ఎక్కువ సంఖ్యలో కలిగి ఉన్నవి.
மிச்சம் 71 சாதிகள் மிக மிக சொற்பமான மக்கள் தொகை கொண்ட సమూహంగా.
మిగిలిన 71 కులాలు చాలా తక్కువ జనాభా కలిగినటువంటి స్వల్పమైన జాతులుగా జీవిస్తున్నారు.
இதே போல மகாராஷ்டிராவில் மகர் என்ற சாதி, சமார் என்கிற சாதி, ஒவ்வொரு மாநிலத்திலும் இப்படி பல சாதிகள் உள்ளன.
ఇదే విధంగా మహారాష్ట్రలో మహర్ అంటూ చమర్ అను ఆ విధంగానే ప్రతి ఒక్క రాష్ట్రంలో కూడా ఆ విధంగానే ఉన్నారు.
இவர்களை தனித்தனியாக பார்க்கிற போது இந்திய மக்கள் தொகையில் மிக மிக சொற்பமான சதவீதமாகத்தான் இருப்போம்.
వీళ్ళని వెవ్వేరుగా మనం చూసినప్పుడు భారతదేశ జనాభాలో మనం చాలా స్వల్ప సంఖ్యలోనే ఉంటాం.
அதனால்தான் புரட்சியாளர் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்கள் இந்தியா முழுவதும் உள்ள அன்டச்சபிள்ஸ் என்கிற இந்த சமூகத்தை சார்ந்தவர்களை ஒரே பெயரில் அழைக்க விரும்பினார்.
అందుకుదా బాబాసాహెబ్ అంబేద్కర్ గారు భారతదేశం అంతటా ఉన్నటువంటి అంటరాని జాతులందరినీ కలిపి ఒకే పేరును పిలవాలని భావించారు.
அதுதான் ஷெட்யூல் காஸ்ட் என்கிற பெயர்.
అదే షెడ్యూల్ కాస్ట్ అనేటువంటి పేరు.
இன்றைக்கு உலகளாவிய அளவில் இவர்கள் அனைவரையும் ஒரே பெயரில் அழைக்கிற ஒரு சொல் பயன்பாட்டில் இருக்கிறது.
ఇప్పటికీ ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా వీళ్ళందరినీ గుర్తించేటువంటి ఒకే ఒక మాట ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా ప్రాచుర్యంలో ఉంది.
அதுதான் தலித் என்கிற சொல்லாடல்.
ఆ మాటే దళిత్ అనేటువంటి మాట.
ஆக நாம் இந்தியா முழுவதும் பட்டியல் சமூகத்தினுடைய ஒற்றுமையை வலியுறுத்துவது என்பது அம்பேத்கருடைய அரசியலில் முக்கியமானதாகும்.
కావున భారతదేశం అంతటా దళితుల యొక్క ఐక్యతని బలంగా చేకూర్చాల్సిన అవసరమైంది బాబాసాహెబ్ చెప్పడం వల్ల అదే మనకు అవసరమై ఉన్నది.
இந்திய மக்கள் தொகையில் இந்தியா முழுவதும் இருக்கிற பட்டியல் சமூகத்தினர் ஷெட்யூல் காஸ்ட் 15% மேலானவர்கள்.
భారతదేశం అంతటా ఉన్నటువంటి అంటరాని జాతులు షెడ్యూల్ కాస్ట్
15%
15% మాత్రం 15% పైబడి ఉన్నారు.
ஷெட்யூல் டிரைப்ஸ் 7.5% மேலானவர்கள்.
షెడ్యూల్ ట్రైబ్స్ 7.5% పైబడి ఉన్నారు.
இந்த 2 சமூகங்களையும் இணைத்தால் 22.5% மேல் நாம் இருக்கிறோம்.
ఈ 2 కులాలను మనం కలిపినప్పుడు
பழைய சென்சஸ்
పాత సెన్సస్ ప్రకారము 21% కైనా పైబడి మనం ఉన్నాం.
இதை ஒருங்கிணைத்தால் ஒரு நியூமரிக்கல் ஸ்ட்ரெங்த், ஒரு எண்ணிக்கை பலம் நமக்கு கிடைக்கும் என்பதுதான் புரட்சியாளர் அம்பேத்கருடைய கனவு.
వీళ్ళని ఐక్యపరిస్తే సంఖ్యాబలం మనకి గొప్పగా ఉంటుందనేది బాబాసాహెబ్ అంబేద్కర్ గారి కళ.
அதனால்தான் எஸ்சி எஸ்டி என்கிற ஒரு இணைப்பை அவர் உருவாக்கினார்.
అందువల్లనే ఆయన ఎస్సీ ఎస్టీ అనేటువంటి ఒక చట్టాన్ని ఆయన దాంట్లో పొందుపరిచారు.
ஆனால் ஆளும் வர்க்கம் எஸ்சி எஸ்டி இரண்டையும் பிரித்து விட்டது.
అయితే పరిపాలిస్తున్నటువంటి అధికార వర్గం ఎస్సీల్ని ఎస్టీల్ని సపరేట్ గా విభజించేశారు.
ஆக 22.5% இரண்டாக உடைத்ததால் இப்போது எஸ்சி 15% என்கிற ఎన్నికయాగ కురైందిరుక్கிறது.
22.5% ఉన్నటువంటి జనాభాని రెండుగా చీల్చడం వల్ల మనం 15% వాళ్ళు 7%గా విడిపోవాల్సిన పరిస్థితి ఏర్పడింది.
அந்த எஸ்சியை ஒவ்வொரு மாநிலத்திலும் தனித்தனியாக சப் கேட்டகரைசேஷன் என்கிற பெயரை இன்றைக்கு பிரித்து விட்டார்கள்.
ఆ ఎస్టీలను కూడా ప్రతి ఒక్క రాష్ట్రంలోనూ సెపరేట్ సబ్ కేటగిరీగా విభజించబడి ఉన్నది.
அந்த சப் கேட்டகரைசேஷன் அந்த பிரிவினையால் நம்முடைய நியூமரிக்கல் ஸ்ட்ரெங்த், எண்ணிக்கை பலம் என்பது நாளுக்கு நாள் குறைந்து கொண்டே வருகிறது.
ఆ సబ్ కేటగరైజ్ చేయడం వల్ల ప్రతి సందర్భంలోనూ మన యొక్క సంఖ్యా బలం రోజుకు రోజు తగ్గుతూనే వస్తున్నది.
அதனால் அகில இந்திய அளவிலான ஒருங்கிணைப்பு என்பது எதிர்காலத்தில் சூன்யமாகிவிடும்.
అందువలన భారతదేశం మొత్తం మీద మన యొక్క భవిష్యత్తు శూన్యమయ్యేటువంటి పరిస్థితులు ఏర్పడుతున్నాయి.
அகில இந்திய அளவில் ஷெட்யூல் காஸ்ட் என்கிற ஒரு நியூமரிக்கல் ஸ்ட்ரெங்த் இல்லாமலேயே சிதறிவிடும்.
అఖిల భారతదేశం అంతటా షెడ్యూల్ కాస్ట్ అనబడేటువంటి ఒక న్యూమరికల్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ లేకనే పోబోయే పరిస్థితులు వస్తున్నాయి.
இந்த ஆபத்தும் இதிலே இருக்கிறது.
ఈ ప్రమాదం ఇందులో ఉన్నది.
ஆகவேதான் நாம் இந்த அடையாள அரசியலை மிக கவனமாக கையாள வேண்டும்.
అందువలనే ఈ విభజించి పాలించేటువంటి వ్యవస్థని చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా గమనించాలి.
நம்முடைய ஒருங்கிணைப்பு ஒவ்வொரு சாதிக்குமான ஒருங்கிணைப்பு அவசியம்தான், அதை புறந்தள்ள முடியாது.
మన యొక్క ఐక్యత మిగిలిన ప్రతి కులాలకు సంబంధించినటువంటి ఐక్యత అది అవసరమే, దాన్ని మనము తోసిపుచ్చడానికి వీలు లేదు.
அது நம்மை தற்காத்துக் கொள்வதற்கான ஒரு பெரிய முயற்சி.
అది మనల్ని రక్షించుకోవడానికి ఒక పెద్ద ప్రయత్నం.
நம்முடைய உரிமைகளை பெறுவதற்கான ஒரு வாய்ப்பு. அது
మన యొక్క హక్కుల్ని పొందడానికి అది ఒక పెద్ద అవకాశం.
நம்மை நாமே வலிமைப்படுத்திக் கொள்வதற்கான ஒரு பெரிய வாய்ப்பு.
మనల్ని మనమే బలోపేతం చేసుకోవడానికి వచ్చినటువంటి అవకాశం.
ஆகவே மாலா தனியாக அணிதிரளுவது என்பது தவறானதில்லை.
అందువల్లనే మాల విభజింపబడడం అనేది తప్పైనటువంటి విషయం.
மாதிகா தனியே அடையாளப்படுத்திக் கொள்வது தவறானதில்லை.
మాదిగా సపరేట్ గా వాళ్ళు గుర్తింపు పొందేది అనేది ఇదే తప్పైందేం కాదు.
ஆனால் நமக்கிடையிலேயே அந்த ஒருங்கிணைப்பு என்பதும் ஒரு தொலைநோக்கு திட்டமாக இருக்க வேண்டும்.
అయితే మన ఇద్దరి మధ్య ఆ ఐక్యత అనేది చాలా దూరదృష్టితో చూడబడినటువంటి ఐక్యతగా ఉండాలి.
அதற்கான செயல் திட்டம் நம்மிடத்தில் இருக்க வேண்டும்.
దానికైనటువంటి కార్యాచరణ మన దగ్గర ఉండాలి.
It is very essential to coordinate ourselves as Mala or Madhika, but we have to be a consolidation. We have to schedule our programs to consolidate across the country all the Dalits. That is very important. That is very important. The separate identity is very essential, but the consolidation of Dalits across the country is most essential one. Very, very essential one. That is our motto. நம்முடைய குறிக்கோள் என்பது at any cost we should not be a reason to split our unity among Dalits across the country. That is very important. We have to identify ourselves, to protect ourselves, to defend ourselves, to fight for our rights, to fight for our empowerment. It is very essential. So we need separate identity. Malgova is for only meant for gazetted officer, but there are many people among Mala. Beyond the employees, officers, gazetted officers, the lay people are there. Enormous people are there. So we have to organize all the people of Mala community. That is very important. So this kind of identification is very essential, but we should not be a reason for disintegration of our unity among Dalits across the country. அதுதான் மிக முக்கியமானது.
ఇవి చాలా ముఖ్యమైనవి.
This is my opinion. This is my approach. Yeah. Even in Tamil Nadu, I never encourage any subcaste identification, but I extend my support who are organizing this kind of organizations. That is inevitable one. That is inevitable one. We need this kind of organization. We need, but this organization should not disintegrate the integrity, the unity of our Dalit community in state level or nation level. So that is the ideology of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He didn't organize his own community at any cost. He belongs to Magar community. He never organized Magar community itself for his empowerment. but he worked for all the scheduled caste across the country. This is his intention. This is ideology of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So in your invitation, long live the ideology of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The ideology of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, what it is? Unity of Dalits across the country. The ideological unity is very important. That is our identity. Ambedkar is our icon. Ambedkar is our identity. Even though we belong to Mala, even though we have separate organization for the empowerment of Mala community, even though we have separate organization for the empowerment of Madhika community, but we have to be united of Dalits. That is very important. We have to be united. So in Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu பொறுத்தவரையில் many people belongs to Paraya community tried to bring me as a Paraya leader. But I never reject that this is my identity. I never. But I never support or claiming this identity that is I am Parayan. I never claim. I know I have a social identity. This is inevitable one. I have a social identity. Paraya is my identity, social identity. But I never joined any Paraya association. I never attended any Paraya organization, movement, any events. I never attended. But it is inevitable. It is inevitable. All the Dalits in Tamil Nadu are in our party, in frontline position in our party. Paraya, Pallas, Arundadiyars and many sections of the Dalit communities are in our party. But beyond this identity, we have to work to achieve our goal in political arena. I found many factors that our leaders spoke in this event. In every constituency, we have about 25,000 votes of Mala or Madhika. Nearly about 101 constituencies, we have this much of vote bank. I want to emphasize one important point that if we contest in any constituency, we have to win. If we want to win, we have to get votes from non-Dalits also. Non-Dalit voters have to support us. Then only we can win in the election. In Chidambaram constituency, I contested 1999 along with Mopanar. I secured 2.25 lakhs votes. That is third front. It is purely Dalit votes. Very meager percentage of votes from non-Dalit. Some thousands of votes. But nearly about 2 lakhs votes from Dalits. The total votes of Dalits in that particular constituency might be 3.5 lakhs votes. So I secured 2.25 lakhs votes. I couldn't win the election. Next, 2004, I formed a new front without DMK and ADMK. Parliament, Lok Sabha. Without DMK and ADMK, I joined with JDU, George Fernandez. I met him in Delhi. I organized one or two Dalit organizations. So we made a new front in Tamil Nadu in that 2004 MP elections. I contested in the same Chidambaram constituency. I secured 2.5 lakhs votes, 25,000 votes higher than earlier election. So this is the fact. I couldn't win. 2009, I joined with the DMK alliance. I contested in the same constituency. I won the election, became member of parliament. I secured more than 4 lakhs votes. So I need 1 lakh votes extra than Dalit votes. How can I secure these votes if I go alone without any alliance? How can I get non-Dalit votes to win the election without support of the mainstream political parties? This is the fact we have to realize in the electoral politics. So, political assertion is not easy one. If we go alone with our own identity, that I am Mala people have to vote for me, I am for you, you vote for me. If we made propaganda like this, we can secure only 25,000 votes in each electoral MLA constituency. This much vote will not get a success. If we want to success in the electoral politics, we need non-Dalit votes also. So this is very important factor we have to know. தோழர்களே, இது மிக மிக முக்கியமான ஒரு அரசியல் உண்மை, நாம் புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டியது.
సోదరులారా, ఇది చాలా ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి సత్యం, మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవాల్సి ఉంది.
సో దళిత్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ என்பது దళిత్ అల్లాదవர்கள் ఇల్లాமல் ఉరువావదల్ల.
దళిత్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ అనేది దళితులు లేకుండా ఉద్భవించేది కాదు.
దళిత్ అల్లాదవர்கள் என்றால் we should know them as democratic forces in the electoral politics. அதுதான் அவங்களை ஒரு ஜனநாயக சக்திகளாக நாம் புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். அந்த வாக்குகளையும் நாம் பெற்றாக வேண்டும். ஒரு சமூக இயக்கம் என்பது வேறு, ஒரு கலாச்சார இயக்கம் என்பது வேறு, ஒரு அரசியல் இயக்கம் என்பது வேறு. There are many organizations, social organization, cultural organization, government employees organizations, labor welfare association, that is different organization. Political organization is entirely different from all other organizations. So, அரசியல் இயக்கம் என்பது இவை எல்லாவற்றையும் கடந்த ஒன்று. இப்போ தலித் கன்சாலிடேஷன் என்பதையும் தாண்டி டெமோக்ராட்டிக் போர்சஸ் கன்சாலிடேஷன் என்பது முக்கியமானது. தலித் கன்சாலிடேஷன் என்பதுல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் மாலா கன்சாலிடேஷன், செகண்ட் ஸ்டெப் தலித் கன்சாலிடேஷன், தேர்ட் ஸ்டெப் டெமோக்ராட்டிக் போர்சஸ், கன்சாலிடேஷன் ஆஃப் டெமோக்ராட்டிக் போர்சஸ். இவையெல்லாம் ஒரு சீக்வன்ஸ். இந்த புரிதலோடு இத்தகைய இயக்கங்கள் செயல்பட வேண்டிய தேவை இருக்கிறது. நாம் ஒரு இயக்க ஒரு சமூக உணர்வை பெறுகிற போது பெரும்பாலும் அது இன்னொரு సమూహத்திற்கு ఎదురానதாக మారివిడుகிறது.
మనం ఆలోచిస్తుంటే మనం ఏదైతే పని చేస్తున్నామో పని చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇంకొక వర్గానికి ఇంకొక కులానికి అది వ్యతిరేకతని కలిగించకూడదు.
மாதிகாவை ஒருங்கிணைக்க மாலாவுக்கு எதிரான கருத்துக்களை பேசும் நிலைக்கு அவர்கள் தள்ளப்படுகிறார்கள்.
మాదిగని ఐక్యం చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళు మాలల్ని కార్నర్ చేసేటువంటి పరిస్థితులకు వాళ్ళు నెట్టబడుతున్నారు.
மாலாவை ஒருங்கிணைக்க முயற்சிக்கிறவர்கள் மாதிகாவை ఎదురాக నిறுத்துகிற நிலைக்கு தள்ளப்படுகிறார்கள்.
మాలాని ఐక్యం చేసేటువంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో వాళ్ళ మాదిగలకు వ్యతిరేకంగా మాట్లాడాల్సిన పరిస్థితులకు వాళ్ళు నెట్టబడుతున్నారు.
அது ஏன் நிகழ்கிறது என்றால் అంబేద్కரை நாம் மறந்து விடுகிறோம்.
అది ఎందుకు అలా జరుగుతుందంటే మనం అంబేద్కర్ ని మర్చిపోవడం వల్ల జరుగుతుంది.
అంబేద్కర్ கருத்தியலை நாம் முன்னிறுத்துகிற போது அந்த வெறுப்பு அரசியல், hatred politics among Dalits will not be occurred will not be occurred.
అంబేద్కర్ ని మనం అర్థం చేసుకోగలిగితే ఇలాంటి దేశపూరిత రాజకీయాల్ని మనము వంట పెట్టుకోము.
The identity politics என்பது மிகவும் கவனமாக கையாள வேண்டிய ஒன்று.
ఈ గుర్తింపునిచ్చేటువంటి రాజకీయము చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా అనుసరించాల్సిన విధానం.
There are many identities in our life: caste, religion, language, party. Ideology is also a identity. These are the identities. Well, Hindu, I am Hindu. This is identity of RSS politics. This is identity of BJP politics. இப்போ ஹிந்து என்று சொல்லுகிற போது நான் ஹிந்துஸ், முஸ்லிம்ஸ், கிறிஸ்டியன்ஸ் அவர்களுக்கு எதிரான வெறுப்பு அரசியலை அவர்கள் உயர்த்தி பிடிக்கிறார்கள். They are making propaganda against Muslims and Christians to consolidate Hindu communities. These are the dangerous thing in the politics. அதாவது இந்துவை ஒருங்கிணைப்பதற்கு, இந்து ஐடியாலஜியை பேசுவதற்கு பதிலாக முஸ்லிம் கிறிஸ்தவர்களுக்கு எதிரான வெறுப்பு அரசியலை முன்னிறுத்துகிறார்கள்.
హిందువుని ఐక్యం చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళు హిందువుల యొక్క సిద్ధాంతాలను మాట్లాడే బదులుగా వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారంటే మిగిలిన కులాల మీద దేశాల్ని రెచ్చగొడుతూ ఉన్నారు.
இந்த இடத்துல நாம் எல்லாம் ஆபீசர்ஸ், இன்டெலெக்சுவல்ஸ் from our community has to realize that we should not pave the way to make hatred politics against other Dalit communities. This is very important. I have to mention here.
ఈ సందర్భంలోనే మనం చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళుగా, విద్యావేత్తలుగా, ఉద్యోగస్తులుగా చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా గమనించి ఆ యొక్క ద్వేషపూరితమైన రాజకీయాలకు మనము లొంగకుండా జాగ్రత్త పడాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది.
நான் போட்டியிடக்கூடிய இடங்கள்ல இன்னைக்கும் தமிழ்நாட்டுக்குள்ள இப்ப எனக்கு ஒரு ஐடென்டிட்டி, சோசியல் ஐடென்டிட்டி இருக்கிற காரணத்தினால பிற தலித் சமூகங்களை சார்ந்தவர்கள் எனக்கு எதிரான பிரச்சாரத்தை முன்வைக்கிறார்கள்.
ఇప్పుడు నేను పోటీ చేసి ప్రచారం చేసేటువంటి నియోజకవర్గాల్లో అదే దళితులు ఇతర పోటీలో పోటీ చేస్తున్నటువంటి వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారంటే నా మీద విషపూరితమైనటువంటి ప్రచారాన్ని వాళ్ళు చేస్తారు.
இப்போ லோக்கல் என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா, அம்பேத்கர் எங்கள் தலைவர் இல்லை, எங்களுக்கு சொந்த சாதி தலைவர்கள் இருக்கிறார்கள் என்ற நிலைக்கு அவர்கள் కురిగి పోయిరుక్கிறார்கள்.
అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి ప్రజలు ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే వీళ్ళు అంబేద్కర్ ని గురించినటువంటి సిద్ధాంతాలను మాట్లాడుకుంటూ రావడం లేదు, వీళ్ళు మనకైనటువంటి లీడర్లు కాదు అని వాళ్ళు ఈజీగా గుర్తు చేసుకుని ఎవరు అంబేద్కర్ సిద్ధాంతాన్ని ఉంటారో వాళ్ళని నాయకులుగా అంగీకరించే పరిస్థితులు వస్తున్నాయి.
இந்த இடத்தில் நான் சொல்ல விரும்புவது, ஸ்டீபன் என்னிடத்தில் மிக தெளிவாக விளக்கி சொன்னார். இந்த அடையாள அரசியல் என்பது வெறுப்பு அரசியலுக்கானது அல்ல என்பதை சொல்லியிருக்கிறார்.
ఈ సందర్భంగా నేను మీకు తెలియజేస్తున్నది, స్టీఫెన్ గారు చెప్పినట్టుగా ఇక్కడ గుర్తింపు, మనకున్నటువంటి కుల గుర్తింపు చేసేటువంటి విషయము ఇది దేశపూరితమైనటువంటిది కాదు అని.
The empowerment of Mala community is our prime motto. That is the main motto of this organization. So it is very essential. I welcome it. நான் இதை வரவேற்கிறேன், இதை நான் வரவேற்று ஆதரிக்கிறேன். அவங்கள எஜுகேஷனலி we have to empower them. நிறைய இளைஞர்களுக்கு இதை பற்றி ஒரு விழிப்புணர்வு இல்லாமல் இருக்கிறார்கள். There is no awareness about the educational empowerment in our community. So we have to give proper direction to empower them. இதுதான் இதனுடைய முக்கியமான நோக்கம் என்பதிலே எனக்கு மகிழ்ச்சி. எனவே புரட்சியாளர் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்கள் இந்த மக்களை ஒரு பெயரில், ஷெட்யூல் காஸ்ட் என்கிற பெயரில் ஒருங்கிணைப்பதற்கு முயற்சித்த நிலையில் காலப்போக்கில் இப்போது நாம் ஆங்காங்கே சிதறி சிதறி நம்முடைய we are losing our numerical strength in the state level and national level. This is one of the important factor we have to know. Numerical strength is very important to achieve our goal. Numerical strength. Very minority communities, then Dalit people are ruling Andhra Pradesh, are ruling Telangana, are ruling in Tamil Nadu also. Minority communities. But how they are achieving? எப்படி அவர்கள் அதை சாதிக்கிறார்கள்? TDP started not only for own community, Telugu Desam Party. So this is common term to consolidate all the Telugu speaking people. Even though he belongs to a particular community, the great leader N.T. Ramarao, he didn't mention his own identity in the politics. He started his political party as TDP, Telugu Desam Party. So the overall Andhra Pradesh is a united Andhra. All the Telugu people are our people. This party for us. So Telugu people maybe belongs to scheduled caste, belongs to BC, belongs to most backward, belongs to tribals, whoever else. Everyone, Kamma, Kapu, everyone. Main. They are not bothering about their own particular community, but they have their own agenda. They have their own agenda. This is the politics. This is the politics. We have to know. Everyone has their own communal organizations. Nayudu Sangam, Nadar Sangam, Mudaliyar Sangam, Pillaimar Sangam. Like this in Andhra Pradesh, Kapu Communal Organization, Reddy Association, Naidu Association. Like this, 100 years ago they have started their own communal organization, caste organization. So they empowered in the name of community, but in the politics they are organizing everyone. So this is the strategy to organize the people, to win the politics, to achieve their goal, to capture the power. So we need power. We have to attain our goal. நமக்கு அதிகாரத்தை கைப்பற்ற வேண்டும் என்கிற ஒரு தேவை இருக்கிறது. ஆகவே நாம் அனைத்து சமூகத்தினரோடும் ஒரு நல்லிணக்கத்தை வளர்த்து கொள்ள வேண்டும்.
మనకి అధికారం చేజిక్కించుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. కాబట్టి మనం ఇతర కులాలతో సత్సంబంధాలని కొనసాగించాల్సింది కూడా అవసరమే.
இப்போ ஸ்ரவன்குமார் அவர்களும் சொன்னார், நம்முடைய అన్నాவும் சொன்னார், 145 ఎంపీ இருக்கிறாங்க.
శ్రవణ్ కుమార్ గారు చెప్పారు, అలాగే మూర్తి గారు కూడా చెప్పారు, 105 మంది ప్లేసులు 145 మంది ఎంపీలు ఉన్నారు.
బట్ அவங்கெல்லாம் இந்த சாதியை சொல்லி ஜெயிச்சு வரல.
వాళ్ళందరూ వాళ్ళ కులాలను చెప్పి గెలిచి రాలేదు.
அது நம்முடைய பொலிட்டிக்கல் ரிசர்வேஷன் இருக்கு. அதனால அந்த ரிசர்வேஷன்ல நம்மள ஒவ்வொரு பார்ட்டியும் ஃபீல்டு பண்றாங்க.
పొలిటికల్ రిజర్వేషన్ ఉండడం బట్టి ఆ రిజర్వేషన్ ఫిలప్ చేయడం ద్వారా వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు మాత్రమే, ప్రతి పార్టీ ఆ రిజర్వేషన్ మాత్రమే ఫిలప్ చేస్తుంది.
ఈవెన్ దో దే ఆర్ రిప్రజెంటేటివ్ ఆఫ్ దళిత్ కమ్యూనిటీస్, బట్ దే ఆర్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ పొలిటికల్ పార్టీ. They have elected from a political party. So they have their own political identity. So how can we unite them in the name of caste? It is really impossible. But we can unite all these people only through ideology of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. That is possible in future. You be as a TDP MLA, you continue as a JSP, YSRP MLA or MP, but you should know the ideology of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. You should become an Ambedkarite. That is very essential. So that Shravan Kumar attended this program. This is Gazetted Officers Association. So we have to attend. That is his idea. That is his stand. We have to welcome it. So we let them to continue as their own political identity, but they have to come together as Ambedkarites. So this understanding is very essential. நான் நானா இருக்கிறேன், நீங்க நீயா இருங்க, ஆனால் நமக்கு ஒரு ஐடியாலஜி என்பது ரொம்ப முக்கியமானது.
నేను నేనుగా ఉంటాను, మీరు మీరుగా ఉండండి, అయితే మనందరికీ ఐడియాలజీ అనేది ఒకటి కావాలి.
இப்ப அம்பேத்கர் ஐடியாலஜிங்கிறது அல்டிமேட் எய்ம் ஆஃப் டாக்டர் B.R. Ambedkar இஸ் equality. That is the ultimate aim. ஈக்குவாலிட்டி இன் த சொசைட்டி. அதை அட்டைன் பண்ணணும்னா நமக்கு பொலிட்டிக்கல் பவர் வேணும்.
అంబేద్కర్ యొక్క అల్టిమేట్ ఎయిమ్ని మనము సాధించాలంటే మనకి రాజకీయ శక్తి కావాలి, రాజకీయ అధికారం కావాలి.
ஆகவே அம்பேத்கர் ஐடியாலஜியை நாம் சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அதுக்கு பெரிய அளவுல பெரிய டிஸ்கஷன் தேவையில்லை. The preamble of the Constitution is only the document of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, only the document of ideology of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the preamble of the Constitution. So in every event we have to donate to the dignitaries the preamble of the Constitution. In all the houses of our community, the preamble of the Constitution must be there. Preamble of the Constitution, அதுதான் அம்பேத்கர் ஐடியாலஜி. ஈக்குவாலிட்டி, அதுதான் லிபர்ட்டி, ஈக்குவாலிட்டி, ஃப்ரெட்டர்னிட்டி என்கிற இதுதான் அம்பேத்கர் ஐடியாலஜி. Justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. For these purposes we are organizing as Malgova or Dalgova or any Gova. We are here only for these four principles: justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Only for these four principles. This is very important. We have to know. This is VCK for this purpose, Malgova for this purpose. தமிழ்ல மல்கோவன்னா அது ஒரு மாம்பழத்தினுடைய பெயர். அது
తమిళ్లో మాల్గోవా అంటే అది ఒక మామిడి పండు పేరు.
This is a variety of mango. Malgova is a variety of mango in Tamil Nadu. Anyhow, very sweet name. I am appreciating the designer of this organization. Malgova, you see G-O only in the green letters. If you forget G-O, you can read Mala. It's a very intellectual approach. Anyhow, Mala people for equality. Malgova is for equality. We are working for equality in the name of different political parties. Shravan Kumar from TDP, our chairperson from OSRP, our MP from OSRP, I am from VCK. We all are together only for Ambedkar to achieve our goal, to achieve our target, ultimate aim, equality. We need power to achieve this goal. So, we need united front. I am belonging to Tamil, you are belonging to Telugu, but we are Dalit. This is the chain of unity. This is the way to unite our people. So Ambedkar is our icon. His ideology is our principle. Equality is our target. So at any cost, we should not be the reason to split our integrity across the country. This is my message. Humbly, I submit this message to your kind attention to consider. Gazetted officers have very good agenda to empower Mala community. Hereafter, this association will be worked for other Dalit communities also. We should invite Madiga leaders for this kind of association. This is for Mala, but Madiga leaders should come here. They have to know what we are doing, how we are working to the people, how we are working to the empowerment of Mala community. They should know. We have to make a platform to make a consolidation among Dalit community in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. I am with you ever. I will give my hands to every ambitions you are going to take in future. Once again, I would like to express my sincere thanks for giving this opportunity to share my views in this great grand event anniversary of first anniversary of Malgova. So everyone asking me to explain what happened at the time of forming the government by Mr. Vijay Sir. We contested only 8 seats in the DMK headed alliance. Very big alliance. Congress, left parties, our party VCK, IUML Muslim League and many other small parties are there in the DMK headed alliance. So we got only 8 seats. Among 8 we got 2 general seats. The one Muslim candidate, another one Dalit Christian. This time, last time one year and Muslim won the election. 2 members of legislative assembly we got. 4 MLAs last election. This time only 2. Because of this tri-corner contest. If it was a dual corner, definitely our alliance won the election, captured the power. Because of this tri-corner, we lost. So only 2 members. Before election, I have decided to contest in my own constituency, Chidambaram, that is Katumannar Koil. I explained that after the elections, the result will be very serious one because Vijay fielded his candidates, so vote will be splitted, particularly Muslims and Christians. The minorities votes will be splitted, DMK, ADMK and Vijay. So hung assembly will be there. This is my presumption. Before election, I spoke to the people. That's what I want to contest. At the time of this hung assembly, I should be there in the assembly. This is my presumption. Because I presumed that coalition government will be formed. Before election, I spoke. But our chief of the alliance, Shri M.K. Stalin, asked me to avoid contesting MLA. You are being a member of parliament 3 years furthermore for you. You continue as a member of parliament. You don't contest. If you are contest in a particular MLA constituency, you will be locked there only. You cannot travel across the state. So you reconsider your stand, he asked me. Immediately I decided not to contest. But as I presumed before the election results came like that, hung assembly happened. So I didn't expect that Vijay will be the separate single largest party. I didn't expect. I thought DMK will be a single largest party. Shortfall will be for DMK. At the time of this hung assembly, VCK will be get a big role to form the government. This is my presumption. It was my presumption. But unfortunately, Vijay became a single largest party. He needed more than 10 MLAs to form the government. The magic number 118. He got only 107, including his Trichy East 108. He has to resign. So only 107. He needed 11 MLAs to form the government. So Congress immediately extended their support. 5 MLAs. It is up to you. You have to realize and analyze. Immediately Congress extended their support to form the government. My opinion, Congress being a national party, one of the DMK alliance, the Congress has to consolidate VCK, left parties, IUML. We have to extend our support to prevent president rule in Tamil Nadu. That is their duty. But without consultation, other allied parties like left parties, VCK, IUML, they decided themselves to extend their support to Vijay. This is the twist point in Tamil Nadu politics. Very important twist point. Yeah. So after that, left parties and myself, we three parties discussed. We all three have 6 MLAs. CPI 2, CPIM, VCK 2. So 6 MLAs. If we are going to extend our support to Vijay to form the government, we will make a common minimum program and we will discuss with Vijay. After that, after the agreement, we will declare that we are extending our support to Vijay. This is my suggestion. But left parties decided themselves. They also extended their support immediately. So I was there alone. I couldn't take a decision. Then I organized our high-level committee meeting through online Zoom app meeting. The high-level committee has nearly about 32 members are there. We discussed through online, the virtual meeting. In that meeting, our all frontline leaders spoke about the support to Vijay. But everyone asked me to join the ministry, particularly me. They asked me to join the ministry. VCK has to join the ministry. Our leader must be become a deputy CM in this ministry. That is their demand. I rejected all these demands. I rejected once for all. I told them we will extend our support unconditionally. This is my stand. So finally, I declared on 9th evening. In between 8th evening and 9th evening, the people made rumors that I am doing bargaining with Vijay. I am waiting for another option to become Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu instead of Vijay. DMK and ADMK proposed Thirumavalavan as Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu like that. It may happen. Some talks went on behind the screen. Some mediators informed it to me. But initially I rejected. This is not right manner. I don't want to get public anger. The people of Tamil Nadu is expecting Vijay only to become Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. So in this juncture, I don't want to be a struggle. I don't know, sir. So he spoke to me over phone 2 or 3 times. Sir, you don't hesitate. You please extend your support. I will receive you in all the means. I will give you a comfortable space for you in the ministry. He spoke to me. I said, no, sir. I am discussing with my frontline leaders. Definitely we will extend our support to you to form the government. We will extend our support unconditionally only. We will not join in our ministry. This is my stand. I replied immediately. But after that, Vijay himself and his colleagues are asking me again and again to join the ministry. to save their government. Because at any cost, if I am not in the ministry, I can withdraw my support. This is their afraid. This is their thought. So finally I agreed, okay, I will not be joined in our ministry without being a member of Legislative Assembly. My Deputy General Secretary, elected MLA is there. He will be a minister in your ministry. After 10 days, I agreed to join the ministry. That's all. Anyhow, VCK made a great role to form the government in Tamil Nadu in this time. Only 2 members, but we had a great opportunity to form the government only because of we are inevitable force in Tamil Nadu politics. For the past 25 years, many hurdles, many rumors, many allegations against me and the party. But we won the elections. We made a great role in the electoral politics in Tamil Nadu because we are in the mainstream politics. Even though I am Dalit, even though I have this social icon, I merged with the mainstream politics. That is very important. That is my kind request. Our Mala officers, employees, and political activists have to work hard to consolidate the people of Mala and Madhika and all other Dalits in Andhra Pradesh. That is very important. Then only the people who are ruling us will step down to shake our hands. Who are the ruling people, ruling community will step down. அப்போதுதான் அவங்க கீழே இறங்கி வருவாங்க. When we are achieving that we are a political force, inevitable force, we are have a standard vote bank like Kanshiram did in Uttar Pradesh. Kanshiram did the same. He didn't concentrate only one community. He concentrated all the Dalits, including all the democratic forces, non-Dalits. BAMSF. BAMSF, you know, backward classes, minorities, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. He named Bahujan. This is the politics of Kanshiram. So we have to follow this ideology to win in the electoral politics. This is my message to you all. Thank you once again for giving this opportunity. Once again, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Stephen and all other frontline leaders of this Malgova. Thank you very much.